Okay, what's my, I told you a few moments ago, my life since I got out of the FBI has been far more exciting than when I was in the FBI. Like about 500% more exciting, okay? When I first got out of the FBI, the first major case was the Jeffrey McDonald case, triple murder out of Fort Bragg. Long story short, he was tried, convicted, sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences. Green Beret, doctor, captain. He's still in prison today. I was hired by the defense team after he was convicted. Within 10 months, I had a signed confession from a girl named Helena Stoke, the girl in the floppy hat, if you know the case. There's been a book and 2 books and a movie on it. And Helena told me that he did not commit the murders. They were committed by her satanic cult group. I went public with the information. I was on national TV, radio. In fact, I was on Discovery Channel here a couple of weeks ago on that case. And people came from all parts of the country to me. I was like a sponge, a magnet. And that's where I got hooked. That's where, you seen that old ad about Ford has a better idea? That's when the lights went on for me. Since then, since I went public, I had 3 occasions when gunmen were waiting for me. I had my windows shot out in my apartment twice when I was standing near the window. The FBI has had 4 investigations of me. I found out through the Freedom of Information Act. And it's kind of funny because they won't give me anything of any significance. They just say, well, here's a page from this report. Here's another page from another report. No comprehensive reports. And I have to laugh because at the end of the reports, they say, Gunderson should be considered armed and dangerous. They should have put with knowledge after that. I had, they put a girl on me, a girl named Pam Fawcett, tried to set me up on a drug deal. And she had the run of the Modesto, California office. They'd given her $2,000. She had her own coffee cup. She could come and go. And after 6 months, she called me and wanted to come talk to me in L.A., came down. I met her in a parking lot, Hughes Market across the Sportsman's Lodge. I said, Helena, not Helena, but Pam, why did you come down and tell me this? By the way, I gave her a polygraph. She passed and all that sort of thing. She said, I woke up the other morning, and she'd been dealing with DEA and FBI, by the way, and I realized you're the only honest son of a bitch I've talked to in 6 months. Those were her exact words. And so anyway, last time I talked to Pam, she said she was on a hit list. She didn't know what she was going to do, and so on and so forth. Then after that, they were unsuccessful in doing that. I'm still keeping my fingers crossed, by the way. Then I was the victim of this extensive disinformation program by people like Stu Webb, and I ran for political office in '96. My campaign chairman, I found out later, stole from the campaign. I have the documentation, I have the bank account he used, I have the information, the flyer that he used to steal, to solicit money into him and not to the campaign. And I gave it to the FBI, election law violation. I'm waiting for them to come see me. This was '96. 1996. Jim Kloberg was his name. He passed away over his computer. He may have known too much, I don't know. And then, most recently, I've been poisoned. I'm sitting in my condominium in Las Vegas. I realize I'm not thinking right. I can't put things together. And I'm suspicious. And I went down, had my blood pressure taken. I was 242 over 119. And I went down, this was a clue, of course. So I went down and had a blood test. I had arsenic and cyanide in me. And they were pumping poison. I could smell the sweet smell, pumping poison into the condo from the condo next door. I don't know if they bought or rented the condo next door, but I never saw anybody coming or going. But I smell the sweet smell. I smell it in my car every once in a while. And I had a lecture in Long Island, New York. And I parked my car. I drove back because I took this girl off the streets who was the ex-girlfriend of a leader of an al-Qaeda terrorist cell in Los Angeles. Didn't know what to do with her, and I debriefed her for 4 hours. And by the way, that interview is available on my DVDs. Paul Bonassi's interview is available on my DVDs. Chip Tatum's interview is available. He's a former Black Ops operator for 25 years. And anyway, I took this girl back to Long Island. I had a lecture on Long Island. I took her back. She thought she had some friends to take care of her. And the car was in the parking lot at the Hilton Hotel for like 3 nights and 4 days. And I get in, and I notice this sweet smell. And I checked the car out, and here's 2 needle marks between the door and the door jamb on the passenger side, and a half moon of dried liquid on the headliner. So anyway, that's how I, Dick Tracy, I figured, there's something wrong here. Okay? So anyway, I finally figured out with my blood pressure, they were giving me some kind of a gas that raised my blood pressure. And I tell this publicly because they're probably going to do it to a lot of us. And as a result of raising your blood pressure, you die of a stroke or heart attack. And then they say, oh, poor Ted, he died of a heart attack, or he died of a stroke, right? Now, my associate, Clarence Malcolm, who's with me now, he's driving from Las Vegas to L.A. He got boxed in on Interstate 15, car in front, car behind, car beside him. And the car in front of him slows down, spews this blue-black gas out. And this was 4 years ago. He's been sick ever since. He's had scabs coming out of his forehead and so forth. And then here in May, he was on a riverbank in Oklahoma, and a fellow came out of nowhere, started talking to him about UFOs, and there were some flies around. And he says to Malcolm, he says, "Hold still as a fly," and he slapped him with an open hand. And Malcolm immediately became sick. The guy disappeared. And we tested regular blood tests on him. No problem. Finally, a week ago, we sent it to a toxicology lab. He has uranium-235 in him. Where do you get uranium? Walgreens? CVS? Walmart? No. Even Walmart doesn't sell it. It's military. We're talking about military. Okay? Now, Malcolm, some of you have seen the letter that I've written. I'm trying to raise money to get Malcolm out of the world, out of the United States, not out of the world. I want him to stay in the world. He's invaluable to me. If you see this booklet here that I'm selling for $25 along with 3 DVDs, he put this together. This guy's a tremendous graphic artist. We need him in the movement, but we don't need him dead, okay? By the way, he found a source that we think would be able to help him. And the gentleman here has Gulf War syndrome. I think I can help him if he'll see me afterwards. Yeah. So anyway, I got a letter in there trying to solicit money. What I want to do, raise enough money to get Malcolm out of the United States to research different countries. He's already researching countries. We're researching Venezuela. We're researching Peru. We're researching Argentina, Uruguay, trying to find a spot where those of us who are involved in the movement can go, because it's just a matter of time. It's not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen.